Ready? Ready? Hi, this is Arnold Mangioli for Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing, and today we're going to talk about readiness. On your mark, get ready, get set, go. When I was a kid growing up, that's what people would say. On your mark, get ready, get set, go. And then somehow, get ready fell out of it. It became, on your mark, get set, go. And everyone started to say, on your mark, get set, go. There was somehow no longer time to get ready. It was interesting to me how that kind of went away. It's so important. It's so important. Readiness. To allow ourselves to get ready. Get ready for what comes. Get ready for what's next. Get ready for the miracle. Oh, so important. What happened to get ready? Or if you can't be ready, if you just don't feel ready, maybe you're ready to be ready. Maybe you can get ready to be ready. Or maybe you can get ready to be ready to be ready. Or maybe we're in a place where the best we can do is try to get ready to be 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 ready for the thing that we want. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what we can do. Okay. Take a step. Move forward. Take a little bit of a step in that direction. Get ready to be ready. To be ready. To be ready. We can at least do that. Wherever we are, we don't even have to get there. We don't even have to do it. It's not about a result. We can get ready. It's such an important piece of the puzzle. It's such an important step. It's important for actors in the audition room or on tape. Now there's going to be a lot more taped auditions. We had a CSA meeting this week and we were talking about that, about the reality that taped auditions will be likely for the next year, maybe, before we can get back into audition rooms together the way that we're used to. So taped auditions are going to be a big aspect of the immediate future for actors. Whether it's a taped audition or whether it's a live audition, as a casting director, I can tell you, we always know when an actor's ready. When you walk in the room and you're ready, we sit up and take notice. It's in how you prepared. It's in what you bring to the table. It's in the fullness of experience that you deliver based on the material we gave you and what you did with it. It's a really powerful place. It's an extraordinary experience to witness an actor who's ready. I had this wonderful grandmother growing up, and she was a little Italian woman, and she had a very heavy Italian accent. She never really learned very much English. And when she would visit, and all of us, I grew up Italian, so that meant all my relatives were in the same building. And we'd all be together at one apartment or the other when Grandma visited. And when she was ready to leave, when she'd had enough, when she was tired, she'd go inside to the bedroom where all the coats and hats were thrown on the bed, because that's what you did, because who had extra hallway closets to put in the coats of guests? Nobody. And she would go and she would dig out her coat, and she would dig out her little hat and her hat pin, and she'd put herself together and zip up her coat and take her pocketbook, and she'd walk out to the center of the living room, and my Uncle Gene used to drive her home. And she would announce in the center of the living room, "Eugene, I am ready." And what that meant was, I am going to the car and I am going home now. And if you are going to be the person driving that car and getting me home, you better get up really fast and get your coat on because I'm on my way. It was sort of a wonderful thing. And a lot of us, my siblings and cousins, and I remember very well that the phrase in her particular voice saying, "Eugene, I am ready." Ready. Readiness. Ready. According to, I believe this is the Oxford English Dictionary. Ready. In a suitable state for an activity, action, or situation. Fully prepared. Set. Organized. In a fit state. Equipped. Primed. Psyched up. I like that. Geared up. Up for it. Hot to trot. It says that. Easily available or obtained. Within reach. Verb, to prepare someone or something for an activity or purpose. Ready. I mentioned in an earlier video, some years ago, I got very sick. And when that happened, my partner was going to work every day and had shared with people at work that he was in this situation where his partner was very ill. That's not something you ever want to put on your partner or bring home to your partner, of course. And a gal that he worked with said, would it help? She had mentioned several times that she had this a guy she called her angel guide, who was a psychic, who intuitive, who he did sessions on the phone, and she spoke with him regularly once every month or so. And she said to my partner, would it help if Arnold spoke to my angel guide? And my partner was just so lost of what to do at that moment, and he said, I don't know. And she said, all right, well, you know what, let me give you his number. His name is Gary Quinn, and if Arnold wants to, he can call him. So, I was at 10% kidney function, and my partner came home with this number of this angel guide, and I thought, if I survive, maybe I'll call him, And I did. So after it all happened, and after I came through it, and I had had surgery, and I started to recover and come back, which was marvelous. There's nothing to teach you about how much you can appreciate life as coming close to losing it. It is an extraordinary gift to be here. And when you suddenly see the possibility that you won't be here anymore, it really teaches you a lot about the value of the most ordinary moments. It's like in Thornton Wilder's Our Town, when Emily says to the, I think it's Mrs. Gibbs, it's George's mother, in the afterlife, and she says, do human beings ever know, do they ever appreciate, do they ever know what a wonderful, wonderful gift that life is? And, I guess she's talking to the stage manager at that point, because he says, the saints and the poets, some. Such a great line. Anyway, so I had come through the surgery, and I was recovering, and I was feeling a bit better, and I thought, yeah, let me see what he has to say. I always think about in Hamlet when he says, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I always think, let's be open. Let's see what happens. So I did. I called him, and we made an appointment. And he knew nothing about me. He was quite wonderful. And he intuited a good number of things, and really interesting stuff, and made some predictions that came to be, very much came to be, very true, very quickly, actually. So he asked me afterwards if there were any questions that I had, and I said yes. I wanted to ask him about... while he was not aware of this, I had just been through this terrible surgery. My body basically completely collapsed, and how I had never even been to a hospital except to visit people and to support other people. And I didn't understand how suddenly, at this moment in my life, I could suddenly get so sick. And he said to me, oh, Arnold, I see this all the time. The body doesn't lie. You are carrying around some negative energy, and the body will manifest whatever energy we carry. So if you are having an experience of carrying around negative energy, Perhaps there's someone you need to forgive. And I said, I don't think so. I mean, I think I've done that work. And he said, well, maybe you need to forgive yourself. And that reached pretty deeply into me. And it was remarkable. And he said he said, you're going to be okay. I can see it. That's not going to be a problem. This will go away and there won't be any residual effects. But, and that turned out to be true as well. He said, but you need to infuse your life with positive energy. And he recommended to me saying the word yes out loud at least 50 times a day. And he said, repeat after me. Yes. And I invite you to do this now. Yes. 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 Say it out loud. Yes. 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 Say it with feeling. Yes. 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 Do you feel the energy shift? Yes. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. So I try to do that. I try to say yes 50 times a day, out loud. Sometimes just when I'm walking down the street. If you see me walking to my office in Times Square, sometimes you'll see the crazy guy in the morning on his way to work going, yes, yes, yes. That's me. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to bring yes energy to our lives, into that equation. And Gary Quinn, he's wonderful. He's out there. You can find him. He's got a website. You can go see him. He does great stuff. But that was a real true gift that he gave me, and that I've honored to this day. Readiness requires a lot of yes energy. Readiness is in a place of yes. Even ready to be ready, to be ready. It's yes energy. And it's really valuable. And they go hand in hand. I remember the story of Ashley Brown. She played Mary Poppins in the Disney Broadway musical version of Mary Poppins. And she had some 36 auditions. And every time she showed up, because, it was a major musical, a major title, produced by a major corporation, which had many major executives, and they all needed to see and approve and deliberate and mull over the possibility of this girl in the role. She was relatively unknown. She was just out of school. So she had 36 auditions, and every one she showed up to, so excited to work, so ready, so in a place of yes, so excited to hear what they would throw at her in terms of adjustments and thoughts and new ways to try things. And every time she showed up ready to work and excited and with lots of yes energy. And that's how Ashley Brown became one of our musical theater stars. It's that readiness. It's bringing the readiness to it. Actors are ready at different times. Audra McDonald was just out of school. It was her first audition, and I was lucky enough that it was for me. And she was just every bit as brilliant as you see her now, 6 Tony Awards and several TV series later. Brilliantly talented, phenomenal woman. Audra McDonald. Her first audition out of school, I could see all of that. She was amazing then, as she is amazing now. She was ready right out of the gate. Estelle Getty, who you probably know as playing Sophia on The Golden Girls, Estelle Getty was bouncing around, and it wasn't until her 60s that she did a version of a gay play, Torch Song Trilogy, at La Mama off Broadway. Little tiny space on East 4th Street. Very reputable, very extraordinary space artistically, but not a high salary commission place. And that show moved to Broadway quite unexpectedly. Set the world on its ear a little bit. And Estelle moved with it. And after her Broadway debut, she became a television star in The Golden Girls. Interestingly enough, playing the mother of B. Arthur and Rue McClanahan and Betty White. And Estelle Getty, who played B. Arthur's mother, who was supposed to be older than all of them, and believably did so, was actually younger than the other 3 women when she played that role. Very interesting. She was ready. She was ready for it. We're ready at different times in our lives. It's cool. It's great. How about now? Now is a great time for readiness. How about some readiness now? Chris Cluey is an awesome man. Chris Cluey is a big, gorgeous football player guy, NFL guy, I guess. And I wear his jersey. This right now with the Minnesota Vikings number 5. This is Chris Cluey's jersey. I don't know if you can see that over there, but Chris Cluey was a big star of the NFL, and he took a stand for social justice. He said, "I don't understand why gay people can't get married. That doesn't make sense to me. It's not fair." And he happens to be straight. He happens to have a beautiful wife and family. And he's out in Minnesota or wherever the Vikings are. I'm not a football person, but I'm a Chris Cluey person. In fact, I wore this when I got this jersey because I was so impressed with him and his taking a stand and reaching beyond the experience of his own life into the lives of helping others and using his celebrity and his stardom to do that. I have the greatest respect for celebrities who do that. John Bon Jovi right now is, he has a pay what you can kitchen in New Jersey. I think there's actually a few of them now. It's a restaurant he opened where people who can't afford food can go there and do services like help in the kitchen or wash the dishes in exchange for a meal. And if you need a meal, you can get one. That is a truly amazing human being to take his stardom and his rock celebrity and do that. And right now, during this COVID-19 pandemic, while many more people are out of work and hungry, he's in the kitchen washing the dishes. That's what it means to be a rock star. This is what it means to be a football star. He took a stand for people whose rights were being marginalized. And he stood up for us. He did not get to continue in the NFL. Ultimately, he was let go from his team and he wasn't hired back by another team. Sometimes structured organizations shy away from the people taking a stand. A lot of those NFL players now taking a knee, these are awesome people standing up for what they believe in, for what they believe is important. And it's a good thing sometimes to use your celebrity to be able to make a statement to help others. And anyway, I wore this into my NYU class at the time when I got it some years ago. And I arrived in class and I was organizing my papers and getting ready to teach. And one of the students said, "Arnold," the kids were looking at each other, and one of them said, "Arnold, are you a Vikings fan?" And I said, "A what? What's that?" And they kind of went, and I was like, oh, this. No, I'm a Chris Cluey fan. And I showed them his name on the back, and I said, Chris Cluey. And they didn't know, and I said, that's that. And I told them the story of what he had done. He was ready. John Bon Jovi, ready. Ready to blow you away with a big hit best-selling album. Ready to wash the dishes and help someone else. Ready. Ready energy is yes energy. Oh, it's so valuable. It's so powerful. To be prepared. To be fully prepared. Easily available. Ready. We have plenty of distractions today. Our lives are so full. And that's why I think this quarantine, this shelter in place is such a gift. It's allowing us to pause. Are we ready to work? Are we ready to ask for whatever we need or whatever we might like more of? Are we ready for more hardship? There might be some. Are you ready for miracles? There will definitely be some. What are you ready for now? Are you wallowing in hopelessness? Or are you recognizing what is happening now? Do you have everything you need right now in this moment, for this moment? Are you ready for what comes next? Are you ready for the new media, the new ways of entertainment? The tricky thing about show business is that call may suddenly come from out of nowhere. Not will you be ready, but are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to fall in love in a new way? Are you ready to fall in love? Are you ready for social change? Are you ready to make a better world? Are you ready to accept the science and work against the effects of global warming? Are you ready to work? This week in the Casting Network News, which is an email newsletter that I get as a casting director, an actor by the name of Michael Kennedy, who's done several TV series, older gentleman, he was quoted as saying, "There are no excuses if you are really serious about being an actor. If you want to be a viable actor in this self-tape world, now is the time to make the investment in headshots, online profiles, etc. You have to invest in equipment and education so you can compete. The last thing I'll say about all of this is that it's important to keep going. You never know when someone's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, we want you." So readiness involves staying sharp. It means keeping up with classes and coachings, staying in shape so that you're ready for whatever comes to you, whenever it comes. And also you're ready for what you would ideally like to be doing, whether you're in show business or not. Be ready. So what can you do this week to forward your dream? What can you do over the course of the next 7 days? Over the course of the next year? Over the course of the next 6 months? Over the course of the next 3 months? Over the course of the next month? Over the course of the next week? Over the course of the next day? Over the course of the next 3 or 4 hours? Over the course of the next hour? Over the course of the next 10 minutes? What can you do now to further your dream? To be ready. This is Arnold Mangioli for Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again.